Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is from Canto 2, Chapter 4, and Text 2. We're very fortunate to have this morning His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami to give the class. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
everyone, for coming around. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 2, the process of creation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayanam Namaskritya, Narancheva Naruttama, Devim Sarasatim Vyasatatu Jaya Mudire, Nastape Sabhadrisu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Nastiki. So, Atma Jaya Suragara Pasu Dravina Bandhusu Rajye Chavi Kale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jaha. Atma Jaya Sutagara Pasu Dravina Bandhusu Rajye Chavi Kale Nityam Viradham Mamatam Jaho. Virudham Mamatam Jaho. Atmajaya Sutagara Vasudravina Bandhusu Rajye Chavi Kale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jaho. So, word for word translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Confounded Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K.J. Atma, body. Jaya, wife. Suta, son. Agara, palace. Pasu, horses and elephants. Dravina, treasury house. Bandhusu, unto friends and relatives. Rajye, in the kingdom. Cha, also. Avikale, without being disturbed. Nityam, constant. Virodam, deep-rooted. Mamatam, affinity. Jaha, give up. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, as a result of his wholehearted attraction for Lord Krishna, was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for his personal body, his wife, his children, his palace, his animals like horses and elephants, his treasury house, his friends and relatives, and his undisputed kingdom. So purport, to become liberated means to become free from the Atma Buddhi, the illusory of attachment for personal bodily coverings and everything connected with the body, namely wife, children, and other entanglements. One selects a wife for bodily comforts, and the result is children. For wife and children, one requires a dwelling place, and as such, a residential house is also necessary. Animals like horses, elephants, cows, and dogs are all household animals, and the householder has to keep them as household paraphernalia. In modern civilization, the horses and elephants have been replaced by cars and conveyances with considerable horsepower. To maintain all the household affairs, one has to increase the bank balance and be careful about the treasure house. And in order to display the opulence of material assets, one has to keep good relations with friends and relatives, as well as become very careful about maintaining a status quo. This is called material civilization of material attachment. This is called material civilization of material attachment. Devotion for Lord Krishna means negation of all material attachments as detailed above. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Maharaj Parikshit was awarded all material amenities and undisputed kingdom in which to enjoy the undisturbed position of king. But by the grace of the Lord, he was able to give up all connections with material attachment. That is the position of a pure devotee. Maharaj Parikshit, due to his natural affection for Lord Krishna, as a devotee of the Lord, was always executing his royal duties on behalf of the Lord. And as a responsible king of the world, he was always careful to see that the influence of Kali will not enter his kingdom. A devotee of the Lord never thinks of his household paraphernalia as his own, but surrenders everything for the service of the Lord. Thereby, living entities under a devotee's care get the opportunity for God realization by the management of a devotee master. Attachment for household paraphernalia and for Lord Krishna go poorly together. One attachment is a part of this darkness, and the other attachment is a part of light. Where there is light, there is no darkness, and where there is darkness, there is no light. But an expert devotee can turn everything to the path of light by an attitude of service to the Lord, and the best example here is the Pandavas. Maharaj Yudhishthira and householders like him can turn everything to light by dovetailing so-called material assets in the service of the Lord. But one who is not trained or his unable to turn everything to the service of the Lord, Nibbanda Krishna Sampande must give up all material connections before he can be fit to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. And in other words, one who has seriously heard Srimad Bhagavatam for even one day can, like Parikshit Maharaj, from a fit personality like Sukadeva Goswami, may be able to lose all affinity for material things. There is no utility simply in imitating Maharaj Parikshit and hearing Bhagavatam from professional men, even for 700 years. To take Srimad Bhagavatam as a means of maintaining family expenditure is the grossest type of nama aparat, offense, at the feet of the Lord. Sarva subha kriya samyam api pramadha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Sakso Mulitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sachetaya Manobistam Safi Tam Jena Bhutale Swam Rupam Karamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodato Gurudaya Postpavanto Chita Chanda Tamondada. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi Segora Bhaktivinoda. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Picharine Nirvisesa Sonya Vadi Pasatyada Satarine Vancha Kalpatari Dancha Kripasunvya Evacha Paditanam Bhavana Bhyo Vaishnava Bhyo Namo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So, this is a very pertinent verse, pertinent text to us because we are living in a material world with so many opulences. To free ourselves from entanglements in this material world could be a challenge. Now, Maharaj Parikshit, he was able to give up everything, and at the 7th hour, he is focusing, or he focused his attention completely on Lord Krishna, hearing the message of the Bhagavatam from a very qualified, realized soul. Now, the speaker and the audience must have some type of qualifications. The speaker must be someone who always is absorbed in Krishna consciousness and he has no other business. His business or her business is to elevate people's consciousness in whatever way, whatever means available at his or her disposal. So we find in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, he sought out someone very, very capable, a pure devotee of the Lord, not a professional reciter. Professional, there is difference between professional reciter. We have all these kathas going on, especially in India, and there is no problem in reciting the pastimes of the Lord, but sometimes the people who are reciting, the reciters of the katha, they go of the Bhagavatam, they go to the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam to start reciting the pastimes of the gopis with Lord Krishna. And that is a very elevated platform. And so if someone is not even able to transcend the bodily conception of life, they can't just jump onto the pastimes of the gopis and Krishna, because then they would think that relationship is something, it's a mundane relationship. And then they will become also critical of the Lord and commit offenses. Oh, yeah. And therefore, the Bhagavatam is mentioned, Nastra Prayesu, Abhadrisu, Nityam, Bhagavata Sevaya, is a means, is a panacea to the cleaning up, or the pulverization of the dust that have accumulated on the mirror of our hearts from activities, inordinate, unethical activities from millions of births. And so this is not a bluff, because we see also in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in our movement, people come from very awkward, terrible backgrounds, and they take to Krishna consciousness and they become saintly persons. So we see the medicine works. It's not something that is just being evangelized, or it's not something that is just a propaganda. You know, it's not a propaganda for people to take to Krishna consciousness. It's very authentic. It's time-tested, because a number of people, we came from, horrible backgrounds of meat eating, backgrounds of sexomaniacalism, what have you? But then these people, their lives were transformed. So this is the proof. And therefore, Maharaj Parikshit, he had that great opportunity to hear from a pure devotee of the Lord. Just like Srila Prabhupada disciples, they had a great opportunity to hear from a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, and they became purified. They gave up their inordinate, unethical activities and took to Krishna consciousness very, very, very seriously. In fact, a number of them who joined Prabhupada at 26 Second Avenue in New York, they didn't even know, 4 rules and regulations. And Prabhupada just engaged them in chanting and taking, even the prasadam Prabhupada will give them, it was not like our Sunday feast prasadam that is, multi-varied preparations. After the class, he has some apple, and he cuts the apple into pieces, and then he shares the pieces of apples to these young Americans. And the important thing is the attitude, is the modus vivendi, is the manner with which that sharing and caring takes place. And these very young people, most of them came from very opulent families, but then they chose to be street boys and girls, abandoned their family resources and took to the streets. They wanted some alternate lifestyle. They see that their parents, their grandparents, they were not satisfied, and they didn't want to follow the same route. But some of them took a very wrong choice by taking to hippie type of lifestyle. And even the hippies, Prabhupada was able to transform them into happies, into sadhus, into paramahamsas. So the process works. The hearing of the Bhagavatam works. The hearing of the Bhagavad Gita works. Otherwise, how do these people become transformed? And Prabhupada was not preaching to them about even rules and regulations. No meat eating, no fish, no eggs, no this, no this. No, he didn't say anything about that. He simply engaged them in chanting, in hearing the Bhagavatam, in hearing the Bhagavad Gita. I remember the first initiation that was to be conducted at 26 Second Avenue. And so it was time for initiation. And that is when one of the devotees asked, so what is our commitment? Prabhupada said, you have to chant. You chant 64 rounds. And he said, we cannot. Up front. This is the beauty of some people, that they tell you straight what they can do. They have what we call They're straightforward. And then so they said that we cannot do that. We cannot chant 64 rounds. And Prabhupada said, all right, 32 rounds. And they said, we cannot, 32 rounds also we cannot do it. And then Prabhupada brought it out to the rock bottom. He said, 16, finished. That's final. The least you can do is 16. That is the least. But you see, because of this relationship with Prabhupada, very strong bond has been created through service and love. Prabhupada showed so much love for these new people that they experienced the love that they had never experienced before from anyone. By dint of Prabhupada's thought provocations, he radiated a particular loving energy that encapsulated these young people completely with love, unmotivated love. Some of them who are even supposedly hippies, they will come with buy some toilet roll and bring it and put it on in the toilet for Prabhupada. So when people come to our movement and then they find that the devotees have very high philosophy and we are also radiating that loving energy, they too along with that energy. At the same time, when they come, they also want to see how we are living the books. They read the books, and so when they come, they want to see how these devotees are living personalities of these books. And therefore, we have a very great responsibility to be able to sustain the preaching mission of Srila Prabhupada by sharing the information, the deep knowledge of the Bhagavatam with people that we meet, inviting people to come to the Bhagavatam classes, inviting people to come to our Sunday feasts, inviting people to come for our Bhakti Vriksha programs, inviting people to come for our college preaching programs. Because there is no one more dear to Lord Krishna than the person who is helping to spread the message of Krishna consciousness. And so here Maharaj Parikshit is the recipient, and Sukadeva Goswami is the one who is a capable, most proficient speaker and a pure devotee of the Lord. So we have to be careful about hearing from professional reciters. Of course, we don't have so much about that problem in America, but in India there are so many professional reciters who go to the stand count of the Srimad Bhagavatam and recite all this stuff. And Prabhupada said to use the Bhagavatam as a paraphernalia, as a means of economic development, that is the grossest type of nama apparat. And so we don't charge people for our Bhagavatam classes. It's gratis. And the idea is that when you hear the Bhagavatam class, you become purified. Whether you like it or not, you're getting purified. I mean, it's like you put your hand into fire, whether you like it or not, you will get burned. That is the potency of the Bhagavatam. It has transformed so many lives, and Maharaj Parikshit is a typical example. He was cursed to die in 7 days. But he wanted to hear the message of Godhead. Why? Because he has an attachment for Lord Krishna. It's a different scenario. Someone has a problem. It doesn't mean that Krishna devotees will not have problems. Parikshit was cursed. He was an exemplary king. He was an ethical king. But he was caused to die in 7 days because he made some mistakes. It doesn't mean that the devotee makes a mistake that they will not be punished. So, but he was just an able leader, but he made some mistakes, and he received some type of punishment, and therefore his whole devotional culture was invoked. By dint of that punishment, he decided to invoke his devotion for Krishna by focusing on Krishna, invoking his attachment for Krishna. So at the end, not that everyone who is about to die, and not that every celebrity who is about to die, that they focus on Krishna. No, the opposite is the case. And therefore, what we practice now is what we are going to be able to likely remember at the time of death. And Lord Krishna says, Yam yam vapis marambhavam tyajate antikalebra. Those who think of me at the time of death, they will come to me unfailingly. This is what Maharaj Parikshit is implementing here. This is, he had this philosophy, he had this knowledge, he's a great devotee of the Lord, he's applying what he has heard at the final hour, at the 11th hour, he's applying that. He is hearing, he became detached from all of his kingdom, from all of his opulence. People want to become very rich, president of America, whatever. If the position is given to you, how are you going to manage that in terms of what vis-a-vis your devotional culture? Bhakti Vinod is a great example for us. He was a good teacher of the Bhagavatam, a good hearer, a good chanter, a good composer of lyrics, bhajans. Some people, they always sing the bhajans, they can't really make a composition. And it's not everybody who is allowed even to compose songs, except for the pure devotees. So here in the purport, it is being stretched that we need, at best, we need to enforce or to apply the principle of yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya. In essence, when we use our resources, our talent, and everything at our disposal in the service of the Lord, Prabhupada used the word dovetail. That is yukta vairagya, because there are other types of vairagya, and the important thing for us is the yukta vairagya, because the yukta vairagya is recommended by Rupa Goswami, and that yukta vairagya entails utilizing all of our resources, all of our wealth, all of our talents, skills, whatever, engaging our family. Like Lord Chaitanya, when he was traveling in South India, a Brahmin came to him and said he wants to follow him. He wants to give up his family and everything and just follow him. Lord Chaitanya turned him back. He said, go and make your house, your whole house, a temple. In other words, go and cultivate all members of your household, cultivate them in devotional service. So there is nothing wrong in having opulence. How we use that opulence, that is the question. There's nothing wrong in having a wonderful family, in having a wonderful spouse, in having wonderful children. How we engage that setting in Krishna service, that is the question. And therefore, when we have resources, we have to see how we are managing these resources, dovetailing these resources in the service of the Lord. We have a family, we have a good profession, we have plenty of money, we have plenty of cars, we have plenty of houses, we have plenty of everything. No problem. The essential factor is dovetailing all of these in the service of the Lord. So it is important for us to bear in mind that, yes, the social functions of the devotee are not thrown under the bus. We don't deny our social comfortabilities. We don't deny ourselves of skills development. And some people, they misunderstand the philosophy. Now, I was discussing with some devotees the other day, how some of our devotees, they had children, they never send their children to school. Yeah, they never send their children to school. And then, if you don't send your children to school, what type of a parent are you? What type of parent are you? Oh, yeah. So, let's not miss, you see, hermeneutics, interpretation of scriptures is very difficult, except those who have degrees in those areas or those who are pure devotees in the service of the Lord can do that hermeneutics interpretation properly. Otherwise, we are bound to misinterpret things to suit our whims and caprices. Okay, for instance, if I am not interested in being serious with my life, I can always, encourage laziness amongst my children. But if I'm serious about my life, I said, my whole culture becomes an example for my children. And therefore, we find in some cases people are negligent of their social responsibility for the family. People neglect their social responsibility for the community. People even neglect their services to their personal, to their embodiment, to themselves. We are advocates of Yukta Vairagya. Therefore, even the body has to be maintained properly for Krishna service. And family members have to be trained in Krishna consciousness. Resources have to be used in spreading the message of Krishna consciousness. And so, Maharaj Parishit is giving us a good example that we have to focus on Krishna. And we don't have to wait until we are about to die. We should practice it now. Therefore, Krishna said, Man mana bhava ma bhakta, mam yazi mam namaskuru. They say, always think of me. To always think of Krishna, that may not be a joke. But if we are engaging ourselves in services, then that tantamount to remembering Krishna, hearing Krishna, remembering Krishna. And so let's get these points very clearly. Okay. Maharaj Parishit is giving us an insight on how to use our life, how to use our resources. And because we've been unfortunate like Maharaj Parishit, who got notifications, who got notification about his impending demise, impending death. We may not get that notification. Therefore, we need to prepare ourselves as if we are going to leave this body in the very next moment. And so, utilizing what we have in Krishna service is the prime factor. Utilizing our resources, these are very important elements in our devotional life because they constitute elements of Yukta Vairagya, using all our resources, our body, our senses, our mind, our working senses, the knowledge acquiring senses. We use everything in Krishna's service. We don't separate anything from Krishna's service. And therefore, our process is an open book of objectivity. We can't say something is separate from Krishna. It depends on how that very thing is used. If it is used for destroying society, then it becomes Maya. If it is used, it's like a knife. We can use a knife in cutting vegetables for cooking and offering to Krishna. The same knife, the armed robber uses the same knife to go to the innocent citizen and threaten them to extort money from them or seize their cars or whatever. So the knife is not necessarily bad. How the use of the knife is put into is what is the resultant determination of the use of the effect of that of that knife. So we have our bodies. We could use our bodies for all type of sinful activities, or we can use our bodies in trying to serve the Lord, trying to serve the devotees of the Lord. And sometimes we wonder, okay, so how do I not create a competition in my own setting? Yeah, by serving the devotees, we understand that by the mercy of the devotees, we will be able to please the spiritual master. By mercy of the spiritual master, we will attain Krishna. So what the elements of attaining our goals are just by our beacon call. We have an environment, we have a community of devotees. Even in family, if you serve your family members very nicely because they are devotees, you are attaining some type of some pious merit. You put in some pious credit in your bank because even your members of your family, they are devotees of the Lord. So if you're so Parker and serving the Lord 24/7, and you're so Parker in serving your spiritual master 24/7, you're so Parker in serving the senior devotees, scientists and gurus who come around, and you deny service to your family, then you're a hypocrite. The other day I was flying the airplane, and I saw how some of these men they were very much attentive to the needs of the passengers. They asking, "Do you need something? Do you need something?" And then they bring for you. So what was ringing in my mind was, oh, these people, if they could have this type of mindset in their families and serve their family, their spouses, like the way they're so desperate serving their passengers. Wow, our families and the world will be, like a heavenly planet. So the important thing is, Maharaj Parisi used everything at his resource, at his disposal in the service of the Lord. And ultimately, he focused on the Lord. He became detached from everything that he had. Although he used everything in the service of the Lord, he became detached from everything he had and focused on the lotus feet of the Lord. The whole idea of our engagement in devotional service is to come to that platform where we can always remember Krishna, Man Mana Baba Mahabat. And this is what Maharaj Parikshit is engaged in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from an authentic spiritual personality, and also not just from a professional reciter. Yeah, any comments or questions on this point?
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for a very, very wonderful lecture in describing the attitude towards service. It's very, very important that we all actually understand this point, that service everywhere, with from the bottom of our hearts, always, always helps. Even at the mode of goodness, it's our families, even if they're not non-devotees, but still it gives a very, very, very important impression about how we know bhakti to be. And service to devotees, service to Guru, service to Krishna, all very important, and we should take it very, very seriously. So, speaking about that, I have a question.
Okay.
So, we just summarize this in a few sentences. But this is a situation that sometimes in some devotees, it takes a while for them to understand that there is actually commitment that's needed when it comes to serving. And sometimes challenges come. But as the scripture says, Mamcharyo Vabcharina, Bhakti Yoga Sevate, that when we're serving, we serve unfailing in all circumstances. So some people they try to serve, but they are more attentive to the body, this happened, or their convenience, and then they serve only at their convenience. What kind of advice would you give to people who understand the seriousness of Bhakti Yoga? People have been here 10 years and still don't get this very simple thing. You comment on that, please.
Krishna consciousness, serving Krishna means forsaking your convenience.
Thank you.
Because see, I came from a background, I came from a legal background, so I was serving in the Department of Justice before I became a devotee. And what I saw in the justice system made me to take a vow that if anybody ever in my life creates a trouble with me that will result to police and court, I will shoot the person and shoot myself. Because I came through the system. I saw what was going on. Black could be turned white, white could be turned black. Okay, but when I came to the movement and I took up some positions, some responsibilities, it was all litigations I was facing. I became a temple president when the society was about to be shut down by some, rascal people. And then my spiritual master pushed me there. Okay, Vasudeva, the guy who is there is too Brahmanical. Hey, you go and take charge. You go and deal with the crisis. Those are situations that I hated most in my life, litigation. And sometimes I will be called up by the police in the dead of night.
Oh, wow. Mm.
So I could just carry my bag and say, what? I came for peace. I hated these things, and this is what I'm seeing. We have to move out from our comfort zone to be able to serve Krishna, to be able to serve Prabhupada's movement. Otherwise, we will not make any rapid progress. If we are serving within our comfort zone, that is not very, it's not just a big deal. Anyone can do that. So we have to move out from our comfort zone and be able to extend ourselves, to inconvenience ourselves, to serve the devotees and the Lord. And that is where the sacrifice comes in. And that is when we are able to make expedited progress. Yeah. Responsibility has to be there. If we are, you see, when I join, if you don't have a responsibility, you will not be given Brahman initiation. Oh, yeah.
That's what it should be, actually. That's so good.
Because the people who have responsibility, those are the people who get a headache. And sometimes people think that when you become a president, then you're enjoying. No, but you get all of the headaches. It's like your head is hot all the time. You have all the challenges, this report and that report. You have to get these things done. Then it's like you're being pushed from up and down. So yeah, we have to really understand that devotional life. And sometimes people, okay, I look at my case sometimes. It's just sometimes someone may see me moving around and traveling around the whole world, and then they say, oh, he's so lucky. See, he's a Swami, he's a guru, he's a doctor of management science. Wow, he's so lucky. But see, people understand that some days I don't even sleep. Yeah. I have to go to a conference. Okay, I'm here in the West. Here in America. Now I have some conferences coming up in Europe, and our time difference is like 5 or 6 hours. And if my presentation is fixed in the morning at 8 o'clock, say in the UK, then you know what time I'm going to wake up here? So it's not so easy doing some of the things that we have to do, but we do it as a sacrifice. Sacrifice is required for even the liberated souls, according to Lord Krishna. Sacrifice for Vishnu. This is sacrifice for Vishnu. Any type of service we are doing that we even inconvenience ourselves is sacrifice for Lord Krishna, and we get purified.
Thank you very much for making that point. Very, very important. Devotees, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and be part of this. Start asking questions. I think Suyog, I've seen you unmute yourself.
As Anasuya, I'm using Suyog's one because my phone
okay.
is it's resting for some reason. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance to August to Good Prabhupada Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for such a wonderful class. Your classes, Maharaj, I have to say, really reminds me of our spiritual masters class, like right on. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj, I want to ask you, Maharaj, if you could speak, if you could shed some light on this point, is that what does it mean to take care of family in Krishna consciousness? Because what happens is, we come across situations where we are focused on the material aspect more than the spiritual and Krishna conscious aspect. So what does it mean to take care of our families in Krishna consciously and the balance?
Thank you very much, Anasuya Devi. See, we have to be able to create a balance in our lives if we attempt to be devotees. See, if we are not devotees, family maintenance based on materialistic culture is pretty easy, but then you get so many sinful reactions in due course of time. Now, as a devotee, it is very challenging to be able to take care of your family nicely, please your family members, and at the same time, please Krishna and Guru in service. Now, what people like Bhakti Vinod do, is that they were very conscious about how to manage their time. Now, Bhakti Vinod Thakur had over 10 children, and he was a judge, and at the same time, he was an acharya. So we have to understand that we need to craft a schedule for our daily activity for every day, that we have a time to be able to be available, give quality time to the family members. And we have time for our services. I mean, it's like when someone is a worker, I say a professional, you don't carry a work from office to home. You should have a time that you work and your clothes. I remember one of my mentees was telling a story that he's a professor. So then he also serves in the government as part-time. And then they were arranging for some meetings, and he was seeing messages at as early as 7 a.m. So, but then he doesn't open his email until 8 o'clock. And so when he went to the office, these colleagues were asking him, what's wrong, that you didn't respond to our emails? So he asked them, was it official hours? So they felt very embarrassed because they are using their family life, family time for office work. And this type of imbalance creates a lot of emotional abuse in the families, because people tend to be so much addicted to work, and even when they come home, they carry their work assignments and everything home, and that is very bad. That means you're minimizing the family. You're sacrificing the family for your office or for your work. And yes, we need to work, but we are working for what? We are working to be able to get some resources, financial resources, to take care of our family. And why don't we also create at the same time that emotional support for the family? The family families don't just depend on the finance of the breadwinner. They also need our emotional support. And therefore, if we don't create a balance, we will be looking for ways to create dissension in the family. And who wants that? We want our families to grow and and be healthy spiritually, socially, and otherwise. And therefore, we have to see that if I'm working from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock or to 4 o'clock in the evening, that time should be exclusively for your work. And the time that you close from work, you should not be engaging yourself in your office work, because that time is meant for you and your family. It's your private time. It's meant for you and your family, because it is so important. In most cases, people don't understand that they have to be expert in effectively managing their 24 hours. If we don't effectively manage our 24 hours, then these cases arise where we carry our office work home, and we are inattentive to the needs of our immediate family. That means we are committing some type of even materially, we are committing emotional abuse, because if we are ignoring our families, that is an emotional abuse. So we should not think that, well, I am a professional, I'm working, I'm a devotee, I serve the Lord, I'm on the altar. So, I serve the Lord all through the day, all through the night, and then I don't have time for my family. And sometimes we use this rationale from the Bhagavatam, that when you water the root of the tree, the whole figs, the leaves, and the fruits, they flourish. But if you don't want a family, why are you keeping a spouse just for decoration? You can marry Krishna anyway. So my advice to people is, if you are venturing into marriage, you should understand this is a responsibility. I was in Govardhan, and there was this young lady who got married to one devotee there. He was teaching there. And so after the class, she came to me and to say, "Oh, Maharaj, see, my sadhana seems to be different from now, from now and the time I was a single brahmachari." I said, "Well, if you're married, you have to understand that is a higher responsibility. It cannot be the same. You have to structure your time accordingly, give quality time to your family, give quality time to your sadhana. It's not that you have to sacrifice one for the other. There should be a balance. And that balance easily comes when we effectively manage our 24 hours.
Thank you, Marge. I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
If anyone else doesn't have their hand or question up, Marge. Marge, on the flip side, Marge, how can we balance service and family? Because sometimes we face situations where, we lessen our services in the name of family, and then the service responsibilities just go down, 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 down. So how can we balance that because sometimes, we come across most questions, where, oh, my family needs this, so I cannot do the service. But it's not like one is engaged like full-time pujaris are or full-time, devotees are. So how can we balance that, where we are sincerely committing to the service, at the same time taking care of the family, but not using the family as an excuse, because we do come across that situation, Maharaj.
Yeah, that is an important question that needs to be addressed, because if we are not interested in serving, say for instance, I have many excuses, okay? See, if you ask me to come to a temple, and I can have excuses. If I don't like to come, I can tell you, oh, I'm traveling a lot, and I have so many researches to conduct, and so because of that, I don't have the time. If I give you the reasons, you will say, yeah, you will sympathize with me and start, pray for me to to have some time in the future. But it's just that maybe I'm just using those as excuses. If I want to come, I should be able to figure out time to come and not give several excuses. I don't. Similarly, if someone is really wanting to serve Krishna, they must make out the time, because Krishna is the reservoir of all powers, the reservoir of all pleasure. And when even the energy we have in serving our families, Krishna is the source of that energy. He says he is the power in us. And therefore, if we understand that we can't really function without Krishna, or without Krishna empowering us, that personality is the very person we need to please first. I mean, it's like some people say, I don't have the time to chant Hare Krishna. I don't have the time to chant 16 rounds. No, you have the time. It's just that you don't have the skill of effective time management. So when we use Krishna as a facade, that is sad. We use Krishna as a small screen, that is sad. But if we really love ourselves, we should understand that the little power we have in maintaining our families is coming from Krishna. And we should water that root properly. We should serve Krishna first. And then Krishna will help us do the rest of the things. It's not that we use 24 hours in serving Krishna and we don't give attention to our families, or it's not that we give 24 hours of our time to our families and we say, well, family obligations are taking so much of my time. We may not be as opulent as the great souls like Maharaj Parikshit or like Pundarik Vidyanidhi, but they had a lot of opulences, yet they were addicted to Krishna's service.
Marge, thank you, Marge. I have one last question, Marge. When you mentioned Srila Prabhupada, and praying to Srila Prabhupada, what came to my mind, Marge, is how can we know, or how can we tell that we are pleasing Srila Prabhupada? Like how? Because we don't get direct messages because we are fallen condition. I'm a fallen conditioned soul. So how can we know, practicing devotees, especially second generation devotees, how can we know that we're pleasing Srila Prabhupada?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to know that you're pleasing Prabhupada. The problem is that sometimes, see, I was in Europe, and a mother was telling me a story. She has been in the movement. She has been in the movement for a while. She's preparing to get initiation from one of the gurus in ISKCON. And so her daughter, young girl, I think maybe 10 years or 11 years or so, she said that, she saw Krishna in the dream do this and this and that. And then the mother said, who are you? Who are you? You cannot see Krishna in the dream. Shut up. Another example is, there was a brahmachari in India. I think he was in the Maharashtra area also. And then this happened very recently. This incident, they happened just recently. And so the mother is thinking, because she is the mother, if she doesn't see Krishna, how can the daughter see Krishna? If I don't see Krishna in my dreams, how can you, my daughter, see Krishna in your dreams? So this is the principle of Atmavad, Manyate Jagat. I tend to project my image into the whole world because I'm not able to do this, so no one else can do it. And there was the case of this brahmachari who Lord Chaitanya came to him in the dream and then said some dacoits came to the temple where he was presiding over, and then they thought that the deity was gold, so they stole him away, and then they realized that it was not gold, it was bronze or copper, and then they dumped him in the bush. So he was asking this boy that he should come and remove him. So the boy told the temple president, and the president, he just ignored him because he thought, come on, I've been a long-time brahmachari. Lord Chaitanya never came to me in the dream, and you come to you in the dream. Who are you? So he ignored him. And then he came like twice in Maharashtra. And then when the boy also was on parikram, this same brahmachari was on parikram in Navatu parikram in Bengal there in Mayapur. He had the same dream, and the location where he had this dream was very close to that place where this deity has been dumped in the bush. So the deity just gave him a description, and then the next morning he didn't tell the president. He just went there with some brahmachari and they located the deity. They had So my point is that, sometimes we tend to think that because I'm not in a position to help someone, nobody else can be in a position to help anyone, or because I've not realized Krishna, so nobody can realize Krishna. My child cannot realize Krishna. Krishna cannot appear to them in a dream. But Krishna is relating to us based on our love and devotion. We can know Krishna only through love and devotion. And therefore, if we cultivate a sense of belonging in devotional culture, everything can really be manifest. Even Prabhupada, see, I don't see my Guru Maharaj all the time in a dream. If I'm having a challenge, Prabhupada comes to me in a dream. Oh yeah. You can know how you're pleasing Prabhupada by how, even in your dreams, what is happening in your dreams. Are you seeing? Are you serving even in your dreams? If you're serving in your dreams, you should know you're pleasing Prabhupada. If you're just serving in your dreams, you should know you are pleasing Prabhupada. And I mean, it's like I gave the example of the lady who asked his guru when Guru came to his country, to our country, and so the guru gave a class, and then she said, my Guru Maharaj, you see, you don't live here. How am I going to know that I'm pleasing you? The Guru Maharaj said, you have a temple president here? She said, yes. He said, go and meet the temple president, ask for some service. The temple president is pleased with you. With that service, you should know automatically that I'm pleased with you. So it's a very simple thing. The people who are around us, we serve those people. We serve the temple. We do some service. And if the service is accepted, then we should know we are pleasing our spiritual master. We should know we are pleasing Prabhupada. Prabhupada is far ahead, far away. We are grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada. And some of us are even great-grandchildren. And therefore, we can't jump the gun. We cannot jump the gun. It's a parampara system. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the explanation. This is very, very important points. Hopefully, as we're hearing, we're ready to apply it in our lives and have the proper consciousness towards service, proper consciousness towards pleasing to the Prabhupada. These are all very important. Thank you, Maharaj. Any other questions or comments that anybody would like to make? We just got to the top of the hour, but any last questions? If not, then we'd like to thank you, Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj, for giving such a wonderful class. So much advice is there, very practical. And thank you, devotees, for coming on to hearing. Sri Prabhupada said it's the first thing we do. Chanting is most important, but hearing is the first thing to do, and that guides us as we've got so much advice today. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Vanchakapatarupischa kripa sindhi evacha titanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Prabhupada ki
Thank you for coming.
jai. Hare
Hare Bol.
Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Glory to Sri Prabhupada.